tuned into Quick Charge, the high voltage podcast bringing you the top stories in electric vehicles and sustainable energy daily. And it's all powered by Electrek. Welcome to Quick Charge. It is a wet and rainy March 19th, 2025 here in Chicago, and I'm your host, Joe Boris. It's been a big week for Tesla news, and a lot of it has to do with the company's credibility as we get closer and closer to the end of Q1 in 2025. And it's starting with Elon Musk promoting a negative Tesla survey that was turned positive by bots. Elon Musk shared a survey that was clearly negative about Tesla last week, but was made to appear positive for Tesla after bots rigged the result. Tesla sales dropped 41% in Germany last year compared to 2023, despite overall EV sales surging over 27% for the year. Amid this evident crisis for Tesla in Germany, we reported last week on a survey of 100,000 people by Germany's popular T-Online publication that showed only 3% of respondents would consider buying a Tesla vehicle. Our article on the survey went viral with millions of views on X. However, we were surprised yesterday when Musk himself shared the same survey, but with entirely different results. Musk shared a post that claimed the survey now points to 70% of people in Germany would buy a Tesla again. The reversal of the results on the ongoing poll raised some red flags, and sure enough, T-Online has reported that the survey was manipulated by bots, with 253,000 votes coming from only 2 IP addresses in the U.S. Quote, where these votes and the sudden reversal of opinion came from was initially unclear. At first glance, the number of article views in recent days and the number of survey participants do not seem to match. Initial internal research now shows that 253,000 of the votes came from just 2 IP addresses within the US. This suggests that survey may have been manipulated. They shut down the survey after those findings were revealed. Now, that's not the only hit that Tesla's gotten over the last couple of days. Thousands of Tesla owners have been doxed, and the only way to get off the list is to sell your car. Amid worldwide protests against Tesla due to CEO Elon Musk's involvement in the company, a website has surfaced with the address and contact information of thousands of Tesla owners, and the same site says the only way to get off that list is to prove that you've sold your car. The website includes a map and a snarky message stating that the site's intent, claiming it's a social media site for Tesla owners rather than a protest site. But the site also says that it encourages, quote, creative expressions of protest that you can execute from the comfort of your own home, and uses a Molotov cocktail as a cursor replacement. Here's the text on the site, and we've redacted the name of the site because obviously not really anything obviously harmful about having people's information out there, but it is still private information, and we don't want to be responsible for leading people to the site. That said, X is the ultimate hub for enthusiasts of the Department of Government Efficiency. Our innovative platform allows users to explore an interactive map of Doge landmarks. But that's not all. We also cater to Tesla motor owners, providing a comprehensive resource to locate nearby service centers, showrooms, and charging stations, all at their fingertips. Leveraging our cutting-edge artificial intelligence algorithms, X goes a step further by connecting like-minded Tesla owners with one another, facilitating a vibrant community through shared contact information. Join us as we revolutionize the way Doge and Tesla owners connect and explore. Obviously, we're using X there to mean generic, to mean undefined, to mean variable, and certainly not a reference to the very not generic, super well-defined, incredible X social media platform, right? This is too good today, guys. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Is X a protest platform? The site continues. If you're on the hunt for a Tesla to unleash your artistic flair with a spray can, step outside, no map needed. At X, we believe in empowering creative expressions of protest that you can execute from the comfort of your own home. X neither endorses nor condemns any action. Before you embark on any adventure, recommend checking out the No Trace project. Finally, an FAQ. I want my information removed. Absolutely. Just provide us with proof that you've sold your Tesla. Email X. We only accept scanned documents in JPEG and PNG formats. The way the information was collected is not immediately apparent, nor does the group make any claims as to how it got the information. It may not have even come from Tesla itself, and I think that's worth noting. There have been a lot of stories about how Teslas are collecting your personal data, how they're collecting biometric data, and how they're using and potentially even selling that data. But there's no reason to believe that this data came from necessarily a Tesla hack. That's because it does include some random pieces of information from each owner, and it's not entirely clear how the cars would have gotten those. But again, we're just covering the story. This is a thing that has happened, certainly not something that we endorse, but it points to the larger question of Tesla's credibility as we go into 2025, where people are taking actual physical acts of violence against Tesla. Tesla vandalism, Trump and the Attorney General claim someone, quote, coordinate and fund these protests. President Trump and Attorney General Bondi have suggested that someone is coordinating and funding the instances of Tesla vandalism in the U.S. After calling Tesla vandalism domestic terrorism again in a new interview last night, Trump said that he believes after arresting a few vandals, they will find that, quote, the left is funding them. Furthermore, Attorney General Bondi issued an official statement regarding the latest, quote, attacks on Tesla property and suggested they were people who coordinate and fund these crimes. The swarm of violent attacks on Tesla property is nothing short of domestic terrorism. The Department of Justice has already charged several perpetrators with that in mind, including in cases that involve charges with 5-year mandatory minimum sentences. We will continue investigations that impose severe consequences on those involved in these attacks, including those operating behind the scenes to coordinate and fund these crimes. Musk has made general comments about the left being behind the violence, but has also directly claimed that ActBlue, Reid Hoffman, and George Soros are behind peaceful protests at Tesla stores without providing any evidence that is the case. Now, real quick here, guys, just because Musk has not provided or made public that evidence doesn't mean the evidence exists. You can have tons of evidence about things like, Russia interfered in the election, or, hey, maybe somebody got more votes than they really should have. But if you don't present the evidence, or you're not ready to present the evidence, that does not mean that the evidence doesn't exist. So very, very important here to make that distinction. I think there's a lot of people who support Elon, a lot of people who support Trump. They might disagree with me on a lot of things. I might disagree with them on a lot of things, but evidence is evidence. Facts are facts. So it remains to be seen what's actually happening here. That said, the Tesla takedown movement, which describes itself as a grassroots movement, plans over 100 peaceful protests at nationwide Tesla stores in the coming weeks. So obviously we don't condone violence, always want to encourage peaceful expressions of your beliefs and your faith and all of that good stuff. But I think we have to say that with all the stuff that's going on, Tesla is losing credibility. And we have to ask the question, if there is someone funding these quote unquote terrorist attacks, could it be Elon Musk? I don't think it is. I'm not suggesting that it is, but I mean, Tesla recently raised some red flags because it's missing $1.4 billion. That's according to a new report from the Financial Times that is calling for an investigation for a $1.4 billion worth of missing funds. And I don't know about you guys, but if I was trying to do some kind of black flag operation to make it look like someone's out to get me, I think $1.4 billion would be more than enough to make that happen. If you're looking for something a little more credible than my tin hat insanity or Tesla's promises about full self-driving future, check out Nissan. They just secured enough batteries to build about 1 million EVs in the US, becoming the first Japanese automaker to sign a supply deal with SK On. Under the new agreement, SK On will supply Nissan with nearly 100 gigawatt hours of US-made batteries, or enough for about 1 million mid-size cars. SK On will supply 99.4 gigawatt hours of batteries between 2028 and 2033, which it estimates is enough to produce about 1 million mid-size EVs. The batteries will be used in Nissan's upcoming electric models built at its Canton, Mississippi plant. Nissan already invested $500 million in its Canton facility to upgrade it for EV production. The new deal, which includes a $661 million investment, will support about 1,700 jobs at SK On. The agreement is SK On's first with a Japanese automaker. The Korean battery giant already has 2 plants in the U.S., one with Ford and another with Hyundai, with 4 more on the way. Combined, the company expects to have over 180 gigawatt hours of annual U.S. production capacity. And finally, if you want to get as credible as it gets, there's not many more places you can look that are more credible than China, and Zeekr has launched the first door-to-door level 3 autonomous driving technology to the public Today, EV automaker Zeekr held a live event in China, unveiling several new forms of autonomous drive technology. The company launched a new smart driving solution called G-Pilot, which will enable level 3 autonomous driving in one of its upcoming models before expanding to others. Zeekr posted several updates to its Weibo account during a live event in China, including several images, videos, and performance specs from its new G-Pilot autonomous driving tech. The automaker shared that G-Pilot will serve customers as a smart driving solution of variable levels to meet the needs of different drivers. Per a Weibo post, Zeekr's L3 era will kick off with a new SUV model called the 9X. It will make its official debut at the Shanghai Auto Show next month, then kick off production in China in the second half of 2025. Aside from level 3 autonomous driving tech, which will only be available in the 9X at the start, G-Pilot offers what Zeekr described as many industry-first driving features, including general automated evasion system, GACE. The system was demonstrated in an awesome video on its Weibo page, which you will find the link to at electrek.co. So definitely check that out if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or checking us out on YouTube. The link will be there at electrek.co. Just look for these quick charge podcasts and you'll be able to find it. That enables Zeekr vehicles to avoid unexpected obstacles at speeds between 50 and 80 miles an hour, and it will definitely not plow through a Wile E. Coyote style mural painted on the side of a building, unlike some other cars out there, not naming names. Don't want to upset the stands. Other features include intelligent drive and full capacity vehicle to parking, all powered by NVIDIA Drive AGX Thor chips, capable of up to 1,400 TOPS of computing prowess. No idea what that means. I will Google it later. And if you're not familiar with Zeekr, this is a really cool company. It's a joint venture between Volvo Cars and China's Geely brand. Geely, of course, Volvo's parent company, but there's a lot of Volvo DNA in these vehicles, in the way they're built, in the safety cell of the cars. These are really top-notch cars, and the car you see here is the Zeekr 001. This was their first attempt a few years ago. This has a lot of Porsche Taycan sport wagon-y vibes. This is a really neat car, and quite frankly, probably my favorite car on the road today. I would love to have one of these. I've been up close to one of them before at CES, and it was absolutely incredible. I was blown away. But the main thing that you want to take away from this, if you're in the US, if you're in North America, and you don't think you're going to see a Zeekr anytime soon, is that this is real, this is functional, this is very right now, level 3, and the car that we are showing on the screen right now, if you can't see it because you're listening to it on audio, is a Volvo ES90 that was just revealed a few weeks ago. This is going to be on US shores starting next year, and this will very likely, you heard it here first, be the first level 3 autonomous car in mainstream production on US roads. That's my prediction. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'll just delete this. There's nothing you can do about it. This is Quick Charge by Electrek. Thanks so much for listening in today. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe and follow or whatever else you're on so you don't miss any more of it.